I know it's been a while since I posted my last video on YouTube, and it's not because I haven't been doing anything. It's quite the opposite. I've been very busy and I had a lot of people here helping me out, and I always feel a bit uncomfortable filming when people are around. So let me bring you up to speed. Last month I adopted 2 baby chicks from my neighbor that were left alone by their mother. So I took them in and raised them by myself. They were super cute and accepted me and Pino as their new parents. Then we reopened one of our dry stone walls that leads to that same neighbor. This will allow us to cooperate together, and I'll have a safe space to put my pigs in summer. I had 2 skilled friends helping me rebuild the wall, and we bought a gate on Facebook Marketplace that fit perfectly. And then I was busy with designing and implementing permaculture designs for my first clients on the island. This work is generating my income now that I live here full time. Good morning! I'm on my way to a client up on the north coast. Since I moved to Mallorca permanently, I started offering my services as a permaculture designer to anyone who wants to plant their garden, not just for them, but for nature as well. It's pretty cool for me too, because I can test and try out other things that aren't possible on my land or with my budget. So I'm gonna check on the planting we made last spring and see how everything's doing. Last winter we dug 2 swales here that you can see in the back, and it's just amazing to see how they capture the rainwater and how this berm is so much greener than the rest here on the land. This is one of the things that I'm super happy that I was able to test this here on this land, because there is no way I could dig anything on my land. This month I want to add another row to this planting. Here at the very end we're gonna add a little natural hedge at the wall to invite more wildlife and to create a nice barrier towards the street. But before I start with the new planting, I'm gonna make sure these trees are all doing great. I'm gonna clean up around the trees and the herbs and maybe add some wildflowers in between the swales. That our second swale over here is getting way less water than our first swale here is. This swale looks nice and green with all the rainwater, so I'm gonna take advantage of the nice rain we're getting at the moment and sow a little bit more clover and a local grass and wildflower mix on the second swale. But first, I'm gonna take a break. I need an orange. 2 weeks later, I had 2 lovely volunteers from Sweden staying in our new tent, and they helped me to plant the native hedge I had planned for my client. I bought a variety of trees, shrubs, herbs and grasses native to the island, and we planted them really close together to create something like a Mediterranean forest in a row. I am ready to hit the road again. And this week I'm not just taking care of my animals, but of the animals of one of my clients as well. Her farm is about 30 minutes away from here, and she has horses and a pony and some ducks as well. So I'm super excited to switch up my animals and to get to know them a bit better. Just passed my favorite building on the island, which is like this old club, I guess, which has been for sale since I have started looking for properties. This is a beautiful place and the perfect location for horses. I think they can be very lucky to be here and have such a wonderful owner. So I'm gonna let them out to enjoy some fresh grass for the day, and then I'm gonna show you around. It's the first time for me taking care of horses and this lovely pony right here, and we both need some time to get used to each other, I guess. The horses and the pony are fed and happy. Sonia asked me to make a permaculture design for her land, which is a great honor, and also it's really interesting for me because I've never thought about combining permaculture with horses. I think we came up with a couple of very cool ideas to make this land not just for the horses but also for all the other animals and to regenerate the soil while doing it. Of course, the horses are a valuable factor in this whole system because they provide us with great manure that we can spread everywhere. Okay. And they keep all the weeds under control. But there are also some difficulties because there are certain things they shouldn't eat or they shouldn't eat too much of. The great thing about this land is that there are 2 big fields that we can use to feed the animals and also to have a lot of space for them to walk, and for people like me who get to learn to ride horses in a secure environment. Now let me show you the part we just planted a couple of weeks ago to invite wildlife into this agricultural area. Behind me you can see our little pocket forest that we planted. It's still an ongoing process. We're gonna fill up a couple of the gaps. This basically is an enclosed area where the horses aren't getting in, and we planted a wild mix of native plants, from shrubs to herbs to trees. And the idea is to create like a mini ecosystem here of native forest. And once it's established, the horses can nibble on some of the medicinal herbs through the fencing. This allows us to create a completely different ecosystem here in the middle of these fields. Now that all the animals are taken care of, I'm gonna head back to my own farm to feed the pigs and all the other animals. As you can tell, I have been ordering some tents. This is the first one you can see right here in the back. And these beautiful tents allow us to host people here on the land. And I have more of them in storage for our upcoming retreats. This year, San Selva is finally opening its doors to visitors and workshop participants. We've put together an exciting and educational program for you. Experience to live immersed in nature. Learn more about the principles of permaculture, practice yoga, discover how to implement a healthy and sustainable diet with a nutritionist, or join a course about organic no-dig gardening. Today I'm experimenting with our own ceramics from our very own soil, which is a project I'm super excited about and something we'll do in our upcoming Back to Nature retreat. So I thought I'll try it first to make sure everything goes well during the retreat. After letting them dry out for a little bit over a week, I now put them into the fire, just close to the fire, but not right in there. And so far we just had one casualty. The little tile I'll try to make, that was probably too thin. But all the other items seem to be doing fine. As soon as the fire is getting hotter, I will then put them directly in there and leave them in there for God knows how long. It's a really fun experiment, and to me it's just incredible how you can make something so durable just out of pure soil. I'll probably make a video about the whole process as soon as I have more experience. Yesterday I had a couple of volunteers here helping me to plant more trees in our native forest area. They're all trees from the island that should naturally occur in a forest but are missing in my little piece of land. So I'm trying to introduce them to the area and improve our biodiversity. I started hosting regular volunteer days every Thursday last summer, and I am very happy to see so many people showing up, interested in learning more about permaculture or just eager to get their hands dirty. Sometimes it's just one or two, and sometimes we're a big group and we get things done so much quicker. If you're interested in joining us on a Thursday, contact us via email. So let's go and see how our animals are doing today.
I got more than just words. I got more than just words. You bring me songs sweet like the birds. So I got more than just words.
The two babies that I adopted have almost grown up. Come on, show yourself. And they have a very funny look at the moment somehow. And they're doing well. I still keep them in the box during the day because I don't know if you would trust Pepe. No, Pepe is actually really good. He protects them more than he's a threat, but I don't quite trust our other cat around the two little ones. While the big ones are out and about, the small ones still stay in the box.
I got joy in my soul. I got joy in my soul. The fact that you're half of what's making me whole puts a little joy in my soul.
Now, while a lot of things do go well and smoothly out here, I've also had some major setbacks in the last couple of months, and I don't want to sugarcoat life out here on the farm, so I'm gonna tell you about them. The biggest setback for sure was an accident that happened 2 weeks ago when I tried to tend to my bees for the very first time, like all by myself. I had help from a professional last year and I learned a lot, but I guess you really learn the hard way once you have to do it by yourself. So what happened was that I went to give them some treatment and I put on the full bee suit, but somehow I didn't really close up my trousers well enough. So they kind of got into my ankles and stung me through the socks and then went into my suit from the bottom, which kind of freaked me out, but I stayed really calm, but ended up having about 40 bee stings and had to go to the emergency doctor to get some treatment. I think in the end I was pretty lucky. I got away with the shock, a lot of vomiting and a very swollen left foot, but I'm feeling much better now and I've learned my lessons. Another setback I had was with my two big pigs. Oof, they've been growing quite a bit. As you might know from my previous videos, the idea of having pigs was to have them clean the land using the rotational grazing method, which means that they have to stay inside an electric fence for a duration of time to make sure that they really clean out that area well. But these two ladies, they just like to escape whenever they find something more interesting outside of the fenced area. For the moment, I gave up. I am letting them roam around the whole food forest area, which is about 7,000 square meters. They're still cleaning the land, but of course they don't really do a thorough job because they just like to eat what they like best and leave the rest be. The solution to this would be to buy a new electric fence, a stronger one that really keeps them in, or to buy a completely different fencing system that is more rigid. I'm still not sure what the best solution is, so if anyone out there has experience with pigs on pasture, let me know. Also, I'm having difficulties with Pino and the pigs. Pino really gets upset when they're running around freely, so I either have to put him on a leash or I have to make sure they stay inside the electric fence. I have been trying to train them because I've seen people train pigs just like dogs, and I managed to make them sit, which looks super awkward but is not really helping at the moment. I think it's normal that every big project has its setbacks, and we all make mistakes and we hopefully learn from them. It's easier said than done. I think none of us likes to be challenged or to fail, but it's part of life and it is the way to improve ourselves. Also, I think it's really easy to just focus on what is going wrong in our lives, and often we're not seeing everything that actually goes really well. So I am trying to stay positive, finding solutions to my challenges out here, and focus on the small steps and the progress that I can see. Thank you so much for following my journey, and see you in the next video.